1/8/26. That's the day that the Bucs make a lot of changes. They miss the playoffs, as we know. All the offseason dominoes are starting to fall, JB. Coaching changes, bunch of league-wide reports. And, of course, we got playoffs to talk about. There is football still going on.
There is football still going on, but who is going to be at One Buc Place next year? That's what I want to know.
From the Stream Center, this is the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Advent Health and Renewal by Andersen. Here's your host, JB Buno, and Hall of Famer Rondé Barber.
JB, today marks a quarter century of episodes on the Rondé Barber Show.
Wow.
How about that? Number 25.
Number 25, 25, man.
I know. I'm trying to think of some famous 25. Brian Kelly was 25 here. Who else was 25?
Man, who was the 25th president? How about that? 25th president.
Right
There's got to be some listener right now who's like, come on, JB. It's obviously President William McKinley. Get it right.
Yeah.
Know your
idea.
history.
No idea. I'm gonna mark this as the William McKinley Show right now.
Love it.
Just make sure we get to that. All right, JB, what are we talking about today,
Man, we have a lot to get to on this program, and this is the day of reckoning for the Buccaneers because we know now, of course, that head coach Todd Bowles has been told that he will be returning for the 2026 NFL season, but his coaching staff is going to be completely overhauled. So much to get to on the next hour here on the Rondé Barber Show, including, there's a report out there that there was a possible connection between the Bucs, the Glazers, with Jim Harbaugh?
John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh, excuse me?
Well, I mean, that's...
Yeah, no.
Yes, as expected, Todd Bowles remains our head coach. And if you listen to the Rondé Barber Show, you would have heard that I said that over and over again, and there's lots of reasons for that, I think, which we will ultimately get into. But I think we should start with, there was a game with playoff implications last week. We didn't win that against Carolina. And because we did win that because of Carolina, but then Atlanta won because they were on a hot streak at the end of the year and knocked us out of the playoffs. And that leads us to Thursday morning, where all of these faces, plus a couple of more that are not shown, are out as coaches on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think we should start there. And probably the one that just jumps out to you from the get-go is offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard, who was our second guest.
Yeah.
Second or third guest.
And I liked having Grizzard on the show, man. Grizzard the Wizard. There was some fun there, but that was a time when the season had really, that was right before the season began, I believe, right? So
lots of expectations, a lot of energy. That was before Mike Evans got hurt. There was look at all these weapons. Who's got to step up and play? I will say this about Josh. I think he'll land on his feet somewhere. This is only an experience for him. It's his first experience, but it's a testament, really, JB, into what just how brutal the NFL can be. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a results oriented business to the very end. Coaches and their families, and a lot of people think about firing coaches. You never really consider that, man, firing a coach means changing schools for your kids, buying new houses, yada, yada, yada. Coaching is and I've had a lot of friends that are in the business, tons of friends that are in coaching now. It's a constant cycle of rise, realization that you're either good or you're not, and then relocation. It's rise, realization, relocation, over and over and over again. And so to see a guy like Josh Grizzard, who's really just getting his feet wet here in Tampa, not make it through these through 1 year or more than 1 year as his offensive coordinator, it's got to be frustrating for him. Now, is it deserved? That's probably the question that'll be debated over the next month and a half from everybody that's paying attention to Bucs football. But the reality is, he's not Liam Cohen. He's not. Liam Cohen is a wizard of a play caller, right?
Right. He's the real wizard.
Baker had so much success last year, highs in yards, touchdowns, he limited his interceptions, even though he wanted to do more of that this year. We felt like a contender every single week. The run game was explosive with Bucky Irving. Quite simply, Josh Grizzard does not have the answers that a guy like Liam Cohen gives you. And I think that's the difference. Whether it was having to deal with the offensive line and the combinations of offensive line players, but we got so many different looks from defenses because we couldn't keep them off balance like we could with Liam. That's where Liam Cohen's mastery is as an offensive coordinator. He knows how to keep defenses guessing. That's why Jacksonville's having so much success this year. He just took that same offense and put it over there, and you get guys
making Trevor Lawrence look pretty good.
Right. Josh Grizzard, 1 year of calling plays, and that was this year. So you feel bad for him because he's not going to get a chance to, kind of grow on his year one play calling stuff. But he's a good coach and he's smart, and he'll end up somewhere. Now, some of these other coaches, Thad Lewis, I really like, man.
Quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, quarterbacks coach. I really like him.
Special teams coordinator, Thomas McGahee. Defensive lines coach, Charlie Strong. DB coach, Kevin Ross. And then retiring, our safeties coach, Nick Rapone. And then senior offensive consultant, Tom Moore. My God, the legend himself, Tom Moore, after 46 years consecutively coaching the NFL. It's crazy.
Tom Moore everybody is a fan of Tom Moore. How can you not be?
Right. You look at him. That's a football coach.
I don't think Tom Moore was doing a whole bunch of coaching, let's say quote unquote coaching, but he's a great guy to have around because his coaching knowledge. If you have a question about a scheme, the way that defenses play certain combinations of plays or whatever, like there's only one dude that you're going to ask, the guy that's seen it all. I mean, he's the number of coaches that he's been around is ridiculously impressive. But with some of these other coaches, specifically with the defensive back coaches, Kevin Ross and Nick Rapone, look, our secondary for whatever reason was about as bad as it could possibly be this year. I think we finished 27th in pass defense. I don't remember many impactful takeaways later on in the season, and the gavel's got to fall somewhere, right?
Yeah,
right. It just has to.
Now, to be fair, a lot of fans out there, Rondé, was expecting the gavel to fall on our defensive guru head coach, and that being Todd Bowles, and that did not happen. You called it. We talked about it on the show for several weeks. You got the inkling very early on that Todd Bowles was not going to be losing his job despite the Buccaneers not making the playoffs, and here we are, and you were proven correct.
Well, look, you just paid the guy in this past offseason.
Right. Follow the money.
You're kidding yourself if you think it doesn't matter that they just paid Todd Bowles, right? They like the guy, too. Yeah. He's likable. And we'll talk about this in a second, but you'll hear a lot of guys talking about the mechanisms of what's going on in the locker room and preparation, i.e. practice, how we're getting ready for games. That has nothing to do with the type of leader that Todd Bowles is. I dare you to find me one guy out of that locker room that says he's not a great leader of men. Now, the expectation of leadership is a lot more than just being a fiery leader and blatantly holding you to expectations. You also have to be good teachers. And so as we continue to talk about these coaches that are let go, I think the indictment is that we don't have good enough teachers especially on defense. We don't have good enough teachers. There's too many gaps in coverages. There's a lot that this scheme that Todd Bowles has designed over the course of his career that asks of players. And if you're not able to find the answers to the questions, and you're not genuinely curious about how to get better in it, then that's got to fall on somebody. And to me, you have a young secondary. You got two young corners. You have a second-year starting safety in Tyke Smith. You got Zion McCollum, who's still relatively young player, and yet no matter who you put in there, every single one of them struggled. There was clearly a lack of understanding of what was going on in their defense. So I think that's where the change has come, and it's not going to be because of Todd, right? I think people like Todd. They want to be around his energy and what he brings to his team. And I guarantee every player on this team is sitting at home right now saying, we kind of let him down. But at the same time, he let them down, right? He did not give them a consumable defense that they could play fast in. That if there's one criticism I have of Todd, it's that. They don't play fast enough because there's so much confusion play in, play out, and it leads to big plays and, over and over and over, guys being open that shouldn't be open. You're just like, we have one of the worst quarterback ratings allowed in the NFL this year. And just the number of big plays that beat us, screams at me awful continuity and execution that had to be addressed, and that's why you fired both, or you relieved duty, one retired, one fired, of the 2 secondary coaches, and hopefully, Rashad Johnson, who's been there, I'm sure that's who's going to get a chance to be one of the new secondary coaches this year. Hopefully, he gets his chance and takes it and runs with it and teaches these guys the proper way to play in Todd's defense.
Let me ask you this question: do the Buccaneers need a defensive coordinator?
Well, he'll say that. Todd will say that. Todd will say that for sure.
Do they need?
Todd's always going to call plays. You could just stop. Full stop right there.
Is that really the truth though?
Yeah.
They're not going to bring in, if they get a very attractive defensive coordinator, potential hire that wants to come in here and says, but I want to call the plays. No.
Technically, your defensive coordinators are split. Jobs are split between Larry Foote, who's the run game coordinator, and George Edwards, who's the pass game coordinator. When it comes to game day, Todd is the one making the calls. Okay, now his defense is difficult. It's hard. I'm telling you, the playbook is hard. It's comprehensive, and it's a lot of check with me. It's a dial up a blitz type of defense. I've said that over and over again. Every defense is somewhat of a pressure, and it asks everybody a lot of questions on how to play the position. Like a DN has to have the same, or edge rusher, if you will, has to have the same responsibilities as an outside linebacker. Safeties and corners have to have sometimes same responsibilities as those two stand-up inside linebackers. So you're asking a lot. And now, if you're trying to play zone coverage, it makes it even more complicated. You're playing man-to-man; it's easy. It's just you got that cat, you take that cat. We'll see whose athletes are better. But when you're trying to play zones, you're trying to throw in zone blitzes. There's different people that have to cover up in the back end of the defense. And when you have so many different bodies playing in those spots, the coaching better be elite. And if it's not, you're going to get beat. And that's what's been happening to us for the past however many years. When you see these failures in coverage and people running wide open and guys looking at each other on the sideline like, did I mess that up? Who messed that up? And that can't be the case anymore. Like if we're gonna have a defense that can win, and trust me, defense wins. It wins. It won a Super Bowl. And people forget we won a Super Bowl playing this defense. Okay, so don't tell me it's not. It doesn't work. Do I like it? No, I think it's complicated, and guys can't play fast with it. But it works, and it works especially when you have personnel. So I think if you're really asking the question, do we need a new defensive coordinator? No, we need better teachers.
Let me skip ahead. Can we get your boy Raheem over here? Come on, that's your buddy.
He's free.
I mean, would he ever consider it?
I don't know.
Coming back?
I don't know. Raheem won't answer my calls right now.
Oh, okay. Hey, Raheem, pick up the phone, man. But
I got no say in that.
Does that pairing work, Todd?
Well,
and Raheem?
look. If you're saying you just saw these rash of firings, right?
Yep.
Most of them were on offense.
We're gonna get into a lot of them later on in the show.
You saw these. I'm talking about with the Bucs. You saw these.
Those firings. Yeah.
Edwards is still there. Larry Foote's still there. Mm-hmm. Mike Caldwell's still there, inside linebacker coach. Right,
and it's updated on the website. I'm looking at it. We were talking about before the show. Kevin Carberry, George Edwards. Larry Foote. They're still there.
Yeah, the guys that left are I think are probably, in my opinion, should be replaced by new young talent to go with the aged guys that are here. They got the veteran coaches that are here right now, because until Todd is no longer calling defenses, it's going to be these guys. Like Todd is not going to give it up, and I just the final answer. He'll have to not be head coach in order for him not to call plays. To be honest with you.
Now a particular criticism that has come out in the exit interview process. By the way, can we just really quickly talk about that? Do you remember exit interviews being as much of a thing when you were playing back in the day? Because exit interviews seem to be now this, I don't know, it's become this point of drama with not just the NFL, but other sports as well, when a season is over, to basically almost like a closed door meeting, and who are you going to throw under the bus? It's right? I mean, that's kind of how these exit interviews feel.
That's what it feels like. I don't know necessarily that it's like that, but I was in the building today. I had to go shoot film session because we won a football game. I only shoot film session for the Bucs when we win. It's been a long time since I've been in there. It was not very comfortable feeling in the building today. So yeah, the exit interviews are they're time for immediate reflection, right? You're not, you've had a week, and I think that's probably why the Bucs do it the way that they do it. Todd didn't meet with the owners till Wednesday. And then the coaches don't meet with Todd and Jason Light until today, which is, a good 4 days after the season is ended. So it's a time to reflect, but I think some of those decisions are probably already have been made. And so, yeah, the exit interview time are not good. But players also do it, right? So if you're talking from a player perspective, yeah, the exit interview is a time when you come up, talk to your position coach, or if you have a line to a personnel guy. Yeah, you go in there and you lay it down. You know what? Hey, this is what didn't work this year. This was this. This was not this. This is not exactly the way I expected it. We ran this different last year. That's why we had more. Stuff like that comes out in the exit interviews. So there is some truth that's gleaned from being in being in that situation. But 100% of the time, whether you're getting fired or maintaining your job, it is uncomfortable.
Now, how about this? I just popped off camera for a second because right as we were talking about it, Greg Auman tweeting out on X, while 7 assistants from the 2025 Bucs staff are gone, Todd Bowles will have the choice to continue calling the defense in 2026 and is not expected to have a defensive coordinator on his new staff. It's almost as if Greg was listening in that very moment, because the moment we were talking about it, he put that out there.
Right after the season, he acknowledged that he needs to change some stuff.
Right.
You already said it. Like, I'm not creating news here. I'm telling you what he said. The change is coming, right? And it's not just personnel change. Some things on defense have to be better. The way that we lose games cannot be the way that we continue to lose games. With Todd as our head coach, that cannot happen. And I think we all realize that. He realizes that. Front office, ownership realizes that. Can't lose games giving up massive explosive plays, and it can't give up 14-point leads to Atlanta by giving up huge plays at the end of the game. You can't give up zero coverage touchdowns to North Carolina, to Carolina with 18 seconds on the clock. I mean, that's damning, man. That's like a scar to your face that you can't get plastic surgery to cover up, and so change is going to come. It's just a matter of what it looks like, who's coaching it, who's teaching it, most importantly, and that the players truly understand it. We got good players, man. Now, do we have great players? Not across the board? No. But no team has great players all the way across the board. All the way, yeah. Right? You got to put your best players, your Antoine Winfield Jr.'s, your Yaya Diabis, your Vita Veas, hopefully Kalijah Kancey stays healthy. You got to put those players in position to be their best self, right? And then the rest of them just follow around and start to mold around. And I remember when I was playing, man, I at the beginning of my career, I wasn't considered a great player, not by any means. In fact, I thought I was like the worst player on the team, but I got an opportunity to play. And I was playing with guys and Derek and Warren and John Lynch and some other guys that really had a steadiness to their game, and they understood exactly what was going on. And just by being around them, I knew that if I wanted to play for this team, I had to be like them, right? But who can you say that about in our defense, specifically on our defense?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, there's
somebody that consistently is great over and over and over again. Levante's probably not going to be there next year, right? So who is it?
We haven't heard anything on that front, by the way. But, there's one Buccaneer that feels like he's been playing basically by himself. And that brings me to why I asked you about exit interviews, because before players board their planes, their jets, and make it for Mexico and get away.
Nobody's going to Mexico.
No one's going to Mexico?
Especially right now.
Is Yaya Diaby in Mexico? He's on some Caribbean island. I don't know where he's at right now, but he had this to say. And the source on this, you guys, this was Pewter Report, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is a Pewter Report quote, so shout out to our friend Scott Reynolds over there, Pewter Report. And this is what Yaya Diaby had to say. I'm going to speak for myself here, as we begin the quote. Quote, I'm going to speak for myself here, and I feel I could have done more. Just not being where we need to be and where we were in camp, it just didn't correlate. I feel like with the pass rush, we've got to just get guys who are hungry, man. I feel like sometimes I'm out there by myself.
Yeah, that's a bold quote.
That's quite the quote.
Yeah.
And this follows a lot of other commentary from him about the criticism that has followed Todd Bowles' decision on walkthroughs.
Right,
and,
walkthroughs, taking a week off during
the bye week, which we talked about quite a bit on the show.
Which all screams at lack of preparation, which tells me a change is coming again. Like you can't continue to. Well, it's the definition of insanity: do the same thing, expect different results. Yada yada.
Over and over.
It's a cliche because it's true, right? Speaking for himself, who's he talking about? I'd love for us to be able to, discern who this quote is directed at, and I don't know whether I consider this good leadership or just kind of petty. To be honest with you, because if you're gonna talk about yourself, say I need to do more, I need to be better, right? But I need guys who are hungry. Who are you talking about? You talking about guys in your room, right?
Hold on a second. I don't want to create unnecessary drama, but if you're of the opinion, and I think others felt the same way when they read this, that this was targeted at least at one person, if not a couple of players on that defense. I mean, is this? I'm just going to throw a name out there. Is this targeted at Hassan Reddick? Is this targeted at?
Could be.
I mean,
yeah, could be. I mean, we don't know. I mean, he's not ever going to throw that name out there.
No, he's not.
It's now.
But it's pretty bold in and of itself.
It's now for us to discern who it is. Who is it? Who are you talking about, man?
Did this ever happen back in your day? Something like this, to go to the media with this kind of quote to basically.
There were some times when we had some not fully dedicated players, if you. Maybe or may not been during the Raheem.
I'm not even going to ask
during the Raheem years.
I'm not going to ask you for names. Not even
that was that we were trying to always overcome. But I don't ever remember saying it, or anybody that I can remember saying it in the press. No,
right?
No. I think this is just frustration because it's allowing yourself to be realistic and not. You know how you can like sometimes tell the truth without like making it sound like you're not watching what you're doing. Like we watch the games. We know they're not playing well, right? But you're trying to tell the truth without really offending the people that make the truth, in this case, the bad play, offended, right? That's what he's doing here. He's trying to tell the truth without insulting somebody straight to their face. Mm-hmm. But that person, whomever that is, knows.
But do you say it in an exit interview? Does Yaya in his exit interview with team leadership say like, "Hey, look, this guy hurt our team"?
Yeah, trust me. The people upstairs already know.
All right,
they already know.
And that brings me to this question: what do you think it's like at One Buck Place on a day like today, man?
It's not good. I told you I was in the film session this morning, and it's not good.
So you were in the building, and
I was in briefly to shoot a content thing for our win.
More or less cheer than a funeral home right now.
There's more. I mean, the good thing is, this is the painful part, but the reality is, it all starts anew, right? And that's what you get exciting about. Like, we know things had to change, and they're going to change, right? We need an edge rusher. We need a linebacker. We need an edge rusher. We need probably a corner, and we probably need another edge rusher. Like, all those things start to materialize and, crystallize what's needed, but what will be needed. But right now, you're cauterizing stuff right now. That's what today is like. You're like, we're bleeding there, man. We gotta shut it down. We gotta close it out, right? And then it heals, and then you move on, and you get to the process of team building and getting ready for the 2026 year. Which there's some things we should be excited about. The least of which, because we earned it the right way, is we have the 15th pick of the draft.
That's right, and we have a lot more episodes of the Rondé Barber Show ahead, where we're going to be breaking down the team's biggest needs, what they need to target in those early round picks, who needs to be healthy, who's leaving the team, who's going to be staying the team on the player side, so on and so forth. But we have so much to get to on this particular 1 hour show, Rondé. So let me ask you this question, because we know that Grizzard is out.
Right. So Baker's going to have his ninth
offensive coordinator in 9 years. Right. I mean, absolutely crazy. And obviously with everyone that he's been with here in Tampa.
Right.
Who do you like? Clearly, they need a new voice, and we like Josh and everything, but he's obviously out. So
I have no idea.
Give me a name.
Don't put any names in my.
Come on, give me a name.
You're not giving me any name.
It's my job.
Mike McDaniel.
There you go. All right.
He's got a seat. He's got his seat's empty in Miami. Yeah, let's bring him here. Let's go.
Were you surprised that he was let go by Miami?
I was surprised he was let go this late, but I think they're much like Tampa. They sit down with their coach and do that interview later in the week. It's not on Monday, and they clearly hadn't made a decision on him, and so they sat down and it happens. I remember when Gruden got fired. We didn't expect it. Did we have a monumental collapse that year? Yeah, it was bad. Somewhat helped by the fact that Monty had decided that he was going to Tennessee with Lane and decided to make that relevant at the end of our season, and we fell off a cliff as a team, certainly as a defense, but as a team entirely. And in the offseason interview, which was on Wednesday, I think, John Gruden's fired. We're like, what? Yeah. It's like 4 days later. You're like, are you kidding me? They just in that case, I think they had someone in mind, which they did. They hired Raheem, literally the next day, next morning. He was announced as a coach. But I think Mike McDaniel went to that meeting without a GM because they don't have a GM. They fired Chris Greer and Stephen Ross and whoever else he's having help that search with decided. I think it's Troy Aikman, right? Yeah. Troy Aikman involved in those proceedings now. Mm-hmm. He came out of that meeting, and whoever is paramount in making that decision said he's not our guy.
All these broadcasters, all of a sudden, all these big-time broadcasters having influence in front offices. It's just Brady with the Raiders, there's all this Matt Ryan talk about him potentially going to the Falcons, and he's on seat with CBS.
You know the one thing, and I agree with you. It's abnormal, but it's just that. It's just abnormal. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. The one thing that ex-players have, especially those that have the acumen to understand how to build teams and what good teams are composed of, you want them, to be honest with you, because they'll be able to tell you, this guy that we're sitting with doesn't have what you're looking for in your team. You can also look at players and say, look, his tape might look good, his combine numbers might look good, everything that says he's going to be a good player might check out, but I have watched so much film. I know what this guy is going to do with that in his position, with the way that he moves, the way that he approaches football. You do or do not want that guy. An ex-player can give you that, about 100%. Right? That's why John Lynch has been so good in San Francisco. Right? Is Matt Ryan going to do it? I don't even know if Matt Ryan wants a job, by the way.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't even know if he wants a job. But it's going to be more and more prevalent. In other sports, dude, in every other sport, literally every other sport, basketball, baseball, soccer, ex-players are the managers and coaches and front office people. Yeah. Every single one. We're the only one that's not. So that's not me standing on a soapbox and asking to be GM or anything. I'm just pointing it out.
GM Rondé Barber.
Just pointing it out.
There's a lot of Bucs fans on X, and please let us know in the comment section here if you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching. Just comment below who you want. Who do you want? But Todd Monken's name comes up quite a bit. Mike McDaniel's name. So let's look. You mentioned McDaniel. I gave you the opportunity to throw any name out there. That's the name that you did. Ian Rappaport apparently just putting out that the Lions have reached out to McDaniel, even though he was basically just let go 24 hours ago.
Everybody's gonna be McDaniel.
Let's make our pitch right now. Let's make our pitch for McDaniel to come to Tampa as the OC. You got Baker Mayfield.
I mean, you could make this pitch. I don't even need to chime
Come on,
in.
man. You got the deepest wide receiver room in the NFL, in my opinion, with this, by the way, a young dude by the name of
Imika Egbegbo.
I've been waiting to bring that sound effect back. I love that sound effect.
Mecca Puka.
Maybe Mike Evans in his going away year.
Jalen McMillan.
McMillan, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irvin, a young, promising running back superstar in the making.
No, and more importantly, why this job is attractive. I'm glad you brought this up actually, because I get a feeling this might be a hard position for us to fill for many reasons. But the fact that we have that much talent on offense, a good running back in Bucky Irvin, who did not have the year that we would all like him to have, but is a good runner. Rashad apparently is gone, so peace out. Thanks, Rashad.
Was it? What did he say?
He said deuce out.
Deuce out,
out, whatever he said.
Yeah.
But you have Sean Tucker, who I like. I think he's a good player. You
too.
can draft somebody else. You got the guy from the LSU still on the roster. But more importantly, if you're an offensive coordinator, you're looking at Tampa, or potential offensive coordinator looking at Tampa. Despite the fact that we had a carousel of offensive linemen all year long, which is, by the way, the biggest malfunction of the season, I think. Having Malk, Brederson, Gedeke, and, of course, Wirfs at the beginning of the season. 4 of our 5 starters miss a lot of football, yet we still had one of the best pass protection rates in the league. Now, some of that has to do with your quarterback, who is an escape artist.
Nimble.
He's not nimble, dude. He's just an escape artist. He is.
Some of those final, we didn't even really talk about the Carolina game, but he was able to slip out of some pass rushes. I could not believe it.
One of the plays I did on film session this week was the 3rd and 5 that scrambled, that he somehow got the ball to K-Dot. It's ridiculous. Helter-skelter, Baker Mayfield. It's awesome. But so you have these great assets in terms of talent, and a wide receiver, running back, great offensive line. You want to be able to, if you're trying to make a name for yourself as a young offensive coordinator, this is the type of team that you would come to. Now, the question mark is, you come to this team with the idea that you want to be a head coach, because, dude, we've had 5 offensive coordinators in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? 3 of them left to go be head coaches. Right, and Josh Grizzard, and who was before?
Dave Canales.
No, who was before Dave?
Oh, before Dave.
Mr. Byron, yes.
Byron Leftwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the first one and the last 2 in the last 5 years have been fired. The next 3 are offensive coordinators. So it gives you that sense that this team with the talent, led by Mike Evans, obviously, gives you a chance to succeed. So, but the question is, how long are you going to be here, right? That's always the case.
Mike McDaniel, I know you're listening right now, okay? You don't want to have to change your Florida driver's license. You get a little bit closer to Disney World if you come here to Tampa. We've got Cuban sandwiches. Right. The beaches are better here in Clearwater, in my opinion. I love Clearwater. Right. What else can we get him here for?
Have you seen Gruden break down some of the plays that he calls?
No. Is it fun?
Oh, my God. Yes, go find that. It is unbelievable. Some of the plays that
if we could lure him, is that a home run?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's established, right? I'm always wary of guys that come from an offensive coordinator position or passing game position on a team where the head coach is calling plays. So you talk about the guys in Los Angeles, anybody coming out of San Francisco, who else is head coach? Liam's assistant now, whoever Mike McDaniel's offensive coordinator was in Miami. All these guys, unless they have had play calling experience before, I'm wary of them, right? Because you know that they're not the ones making the calls. And the hardest part about being a coordinator on either side of the ball is sequencing calls, understanding how to take advantage of what the other team is trying to do. So if you're the Bucs and you have a team that's, I mean, and you just watch the film. If you have a team that's always cross-dogging you and taking advantage of inexperienced guards and a young center, like, you need an offensive coordinator that can look at that and be like, all right, I know how to beat that. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all keep doing that. See what happens, right? That's what Liam Cohen has. Josh Grizzard didn't have
adjusting on the fly.
Yeah, Josh didn't have that.
Adaptability.
He just didn't have enough. He doesn't have enough experience, man. He just didn't have enough time on task yet. So if I'm looking for an offensive coordinator, if I'm Todd, I'm Jason Light, and I'm filling that position, I'm trying to find the guy that has experience really calling plays, not just a hotshot guy who is famous or popular because at the time by association.
Because of a coaching tree,
right?
Which we get caught up in as fans quite a bit. Oh, he's on the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. Oh my God,
be the same. He's got to be the same.
Breathing the same air as Sean McVay. My goodness, we will look a lot of moving pieces in the NFL with Mike McDaniel now in the mix. We're going to be talking more about him, Harbaugh, and the Rondé Barber Show returns.
You're watching the Rondé Barber Show, sponsored by Renewal by Andersen, superior products, exceptional service, and by Advent Health, the exclusive hospital of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here are your hosts, Hall of Famer Rondé Barber and Hall of Shamer JD Buno.
You are a bit of a shame.
Well, I said Jim Harbaugh off the top of the show.
Yes.
That is a hall of shame moment.
For shame.
Get your Harbaughs right, JB.
Oh,
Jeez.
my God.
Welcome back to the Rondé Barber Show with the Hall of Famer himself. Man, let's give it up. Episode 25 of the Rondé Barber Show.
Man. Been good.
Shout out to producer Rhett Fail Jr. We got Garrett Phillips. Josh Scott in the house, man.
Welcome, Josh Scott.
Yeah,
we didn't give you a shout out last week when you were on the show.
Yeah,
or not on the show, hanging out in the background on the slider cams.
Our team is growing here, man. Yep. And look, as far as the NFL landscape right now, man, we've got 8 openings. Would you believe it? 8 openings.
Well, what show was it, Rhett? I know I talked about it. I said there could be a chance that there's like 7 or 8 openings.
And there's some talk.
They're not all the ones that I said, but every year
you did call it.
You get like 4 or 5, and then out of nowhere you get the Harbaughs in Baltimore and McDaniels in Miami that you just didn't really account for.
And the national media seems to think that if the Steelers lose to the Texans on Wild Card Weekend, then there could be a 9th in Pittsburgh, which would be crazy. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Right.
Let's focus on John Harbaugh here on the show. Okay, 18 seasons as the Baltimore Ravens head coach, and he will not see a 19th season after he was, of course, fired there in Baltimore. There's a lot of various reports coming out about just how that rift kind of, developed, and Lamar Jackson and Todd Monken. But bottom line is that Harbaugh is a free agent, and apparently his agent says the phone is ringing off the hook. Now, there was a report connecting Harbaugh to the Bucs, and the report claimed that the Glazers reached out and that Harbaugh, that it wasn't much of a thing, that Harbaugh wanted his own GM. But before I even go into that report, I'm just going to toss this over to you.
Patently false. Is there any truth in that report? I'm sure Harbaugh's people called the Bucs, right? I mean,
you think Harbaugh's people called the Bucs?
Yeah, I think there had to be he's called everybody. They call everybody. That's how agents work. They call teams like, hey, checking in. This is where my coach would like to be. Are you guys going to fire Todd? It's that type of thing.
Yeah, but would Harbaugh pull rank
I don't think so.
And ask for a GM to go? Because there's that conversation right now, I know, occurring in New York with Joe Schoen and the Giants, because there was a lot of people out there who didn't believe that Joe Schoen should have kept his job with the Giants, and that Daboll took the fall for him. So would Harbaugh do that? Want his own GM or want to have full control over the front office?
Well, if you're any coach looking at Tampa, you look at our front office and say, bravo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that want to speculate on how bad of a job that Jason Light has done. What are you talking about? We have had some of the best drafts in history here, keeping our team together post Super Bowl, and then just making another run, and then obviously not making the playoffs this year, but 4 straight years of playoff football. Dude, Jason drafts well. So that reputation that he has is across the league. I can't imagine any coach looking at Tampa and saying, I want that guy out. All right. Non-starter of a conversation. Then see ya. Thanks for giving the call. But you're kidding yourself again if you think that Jason Light is going anywhere. He is very, very good at his job. His process is so specific, and I think really produced some really good results, some really good players. Now, could he get better? Yeah, he needs an edge guy. I need my guy to draft an edge guy.
Max Crosby,
or trade for an edge guy.
Right.
However you want to frame it, we need some edge pressure, and then we get a linebacker, and then we get some more edge pressure. Like whatever that takes. So this report, I'm not going to say it's completely false, but it's patently false that that his people said, I want Harbaugh is coming here, but you have to get rid of Jason Light. That is just nonsense. That's stupid. People, it's clickbait.
Yeah, there's the word. There it is. Okay, so look, Todd Bowles told the members of the media, Rick Stroud, I believe, being one of them over at the Tampa Bay Times, saying that he has been told that he is staying. And that's basically been the message, right, from the Glazers, is that you are a head coach. Nothing with the availability changes that. Even if Tomlin shakes loose with Pittsburgh, nothing. Todd is back. Come on now. Come on. I got it. All right. So there's no chance that Harbaugh or Tomlin or anybody else is coming to Tampa Bay, right?
Chance is a thin line. Just kidding, man. Chance is very determinate, man. Like chance means you either fall to one side or maybe you fall to the other side. I mean, I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I love Mike T though. That's my guy.
That's your guy, man.
Guy. All right, I would not be surprised if Mike T that report that you mentioned earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised if he retires.
Yeah. There's also been a lot of talk that Tomlin would in a heartbeat take one of those analyst jobs, a TV job, like a cushy studio job. That sounds. Rhett, please go back to the previous graphic because I'm not. No. Let's. I'm gonna. I might have to go on slider cam here to take a bow here. Dude. If you've been following the Rondé Barber Show all season long, you know that I have been holding on to this itsy bitsy lead, and as we come to the end of that's right.
Lest we forget that I picked Carolina to win the other week.
You did.
Just so the Bucs.
You know what?
Thank you.
Let's hear it for everybody for Rondé Barber.
I realized what the problem was. One of us hadn't picked against the Bucs in a long time, and so once doing that, it changed their fortunes. And
you're the reason they won.
By chance, they won.
It was because Rondé Barber picked the Panthers,
which is the reason why I'm one back here.
There it is. My friend, the pick six was just a lot of fun.
Great idea, Rhett.
Yeah. Shout out to
very, very good.
Shout out to our producer, Rhett Fail Jr. and the producing staff here at good old WFLA. But we're going to continue it. We're going to evolve it now.
Yes,
and what we are going to do now is we're going to carry it into overtime. Because you know what? We're going to give you that 30th win right there. We got to change those numbers. We tied. So now to break the tie, what we're going to do is take a guess at the 8. As of now, 8 head coach openings in the league. So last night, you and I were doing our research, and we decided to come up with our. Thanks for the crown, by the way. We decided to come up with our come up with our own list here, our list. And,
Rhett, am I allowed to fire you? Because you're fired for that, man. I like it.
Heavy lies the crown.
That is very good. That is very good.
So. Here's the list. These are our picks now, and we get a point for each.
Yep.
And we also have an extra point, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But let's break it down one line at a time, and let's start with the Ravens.
All right. You like Jesse Minter?
I do.
Because a defensive-minded guy. I actually have him on my list down here in Cleveland. But yeah, Jesse's a good call there because it's a defensive team that's underachieved on defense, right?
I just I don't know.
That's why
he was there. Right. He was there in Baltimore.
Right.
So earlier in his career, and I see that as a natural fit. But you have Krishula.
Total shots in the dark here. Also a defensive guy. But what he's done in Los Angeles for the Rams, wow, man. Like, that's a no-name defense. Jared Verse, a good player. They just played their middle linebacker, who's, he's kind of an average player, but they paid him a lot of money because he played well this year. The corners. God, who's the guy that Washington drafted first round? Man, come on, Garrett, you should know this.
Washington,
big, tall, long guy from
what, the corner?
Yeah, he's now in LA. he was a cast off in Washington, and now is like balling for the Los Angeles Rams. So there's things that Chris Shula does with his defense and takes advantage of his personnel, uses personnel the way that they're supposed to be used, and it's why they're having so much success.
Kobe Durant?
Nope.
No, not Kobe Durant.
Yes, Manuel Forbes. That's exactly right. Manuel Forbes, who was a first-round draft pick, takes the ball away in college, goes to Washington, doesn't do well, but goes to Chris Shula's defense, and all of a sudden the dude's like a stud. So, yes. All right.
Cardinals.
Who wants this job?
Not Mike McCarthy.
I think Mike McCarthy would be good there because there's so much dysfunction. Dude, Mike McCarthy is a Super Bowl winning coach and coach of the year, and he's had his year off. He's had his 30-second timeout. Let me see which one of these offenses I can best mold. And they're committed to their quarterback, right? I mean, obviously they can get out of it. They could. Working for Bidwell is a go with your own your own regard, because he's a little cuckoo sometimes. But I think he would be a perfect fit for Kyler Murray. Get him more. In a more stable type of passing offense. Kyler Murray's like Cliff Kingsbury and some other young hotshot that just left Arizona. So I think Mike McCarthy with some stability and experience is great there.
I think that these young up and coming offensive minded guys are all the rage right now, especially if you have a famous last name like Kubiak. So I have Clint Kubiak going to Arizona. McCarthy there is interesting, but I don't know. Maybe coming out of Dallas and being a big market guy, I can't see him going to the Cardinals. But look, anything could happen. Never know. These are all shots in the dark. Let's just call it what it is. Complete shots in the dark. Let's go to the Giants.
Right.
This is the big one.
I'm only saying Stefanski. That's who my brother wants.
Okay.
When I was talking to him this week, he's like, "We better get Kevin Stefanski." But we'll see.
There's a lot of already reports out of New York emerging that Stefanski is a super high end pick there. Harbaugh is obviously another, and I just I think Harbaugh moves just a little bit more northeast into New York. I think that's an enormous target for them. And I think Jackson Dart being there, John Harbaugh has a quarterback to mold.
Right.
And
he'd have to get an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Kevin Stefanski.
All right, there you go.
All
right, so I have Stefanski to the Falcons. Just to get on the nerves of our producer Garrett Phillips, because he really didn't want to see Stefanski come into the NFC South at all. But look, a lot of weapons there.
Yeah, tons
Drake
of weapons.
Drake London, Bijan, Kyle Pitts,
and a little quarterback controversy.
Yes.
You think he wants that again?
I don't think so.
I'm going with Joe Brady there. Joe made Josh Allen a superstar, even though he's had some struggles, and Joe could very much benefit from going to a team that has a ton of talent on it. Because Buffalo, even though they have the greatest quarterback in the league right now, and a running back in Cook who was killing it, the rest of that team is devoid of talent. So if he goes to Atlanta, starts working with Bijan and Drake and Kyle Pitts, if they bring him back, he's going to be like this. He's going to be licking his chops. So that's my case. All right,
Miami, the former McDaniels landing spot. Wow,
you've got Cliff Kingsbury.
I could just see it. I just think it's funny.
It's like having the same guy that just left.
I know. That's why I don't know. I just see Cliff Kingsbury and I see Miami. I don't know. I
could see it. They'd have the same glasses on.
It's the same thing. I don't know why I have that as actually, to tell you the truth. Rhett texted me like an hour before the show and said, just give me your Dolphins pick.
Right.
I don't know, Cliff Kingsbury, shot in the dark. Why not?
I'm going John Harbaugh because he's 63 years old and he's been in the Northeast for a long time, man.
An old dude moving from the Northeast to Florida. I've never heard of that before.
It's just that's kind of tongue in cheek. But his guy, is interviewing for the GM job. So I don't know. Cleveland. This is where I have Jesse Mentor.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, what he's done with the Chargers and in Los Angeles is nothing short of extraordinary. The guy has got like a lot of energy. He's got great ideas with the way that they play. I mean, I see you have Robert Saleh, also a defensive guy. Both could win there on that side of the ball. Interesting is the next one. We both out of
the only one that we both see the same guy on the same team.
And if you look at anything talking about the Raiders' next head coach, all of them are offensive players or coaches.
Yeah.
Kubiak, Stefanski, Joe Brady, lead list. Of coaches that are go to the Las Vegas Raiders. But the reality is, dude, they need discipline, and that's what Brian Flores brings to your
That's exactly
your
what I was
football
thinking
team.
too.
Right? It's like you can bring in a high-flying offensive quarterback or offensive coordinator in there to be head coach. You do not have a quarterback, so why would you do that? Right? Bring a disciplinarian to this team, to this franchise. Then go find your quarterback. Take 2 years or whatever to get right, and then hopefully you get going, because they're a disaster this year, man. That team was just embarrassing.
And if there's, to your point, if there's anyone who's going to bring in accountability to that organization, it's Brian Flores. Asterisk here, I think they bring in a hotshot offensive coordinator to light a fire underneath that offense.
All right, last one. You got Matt Nagy? Yeah.
No one wants this job.
Yeah.
No one wants it. I know there's only 32 of them. I've heard that cliche a million times, but no one wants the Titans job, right?
Nobody wanted the Jacksonville job last year either, by the way.
That's actually, you know what? That's a brilliant point.
Robert Saleh, I said, because he went to a dumpster fire at the Jets.
It is a dumpster
He'll have
fire.
an experience with how to come out of another dumpster fire with the Tennessee. Although he's got a lot of work there, man. Whoever takes that job has got a lot of work. All right, so these are our picks. We get a point for getting one right. We get nothing happens if you get one wrong.
That's right.
So we will continue to track this. All right, let's get to the biggest part of the show.
Yep.
There is actually playoff games this week, JB.
Yep.
As much as we talk about the Bucs, I'd love to be talking about a Bucs playoff game instead of 7 coaches dismissed today. But in lieu of our Tampa Bay Bucs being in the playoffs, let's pick some games.
Yeah, and we're gonna pick one. This is the extra point of the pick six. So let's get right into it. You want to go first, Rondé?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah,
All
take
right.
it.
So this is crazy to me. Chicago playing the Packers for the third time this year. Obviously, they share a division, NFC North. Chicago is home dogs. So the point of this, you can pick a favorite or a dog, and I'm taking a dog. And it was obvious when I saw this because Chicago's playing at home. The Packers are coming into this game having lost an OT to them, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever that one game was. Jordan Love has been in an absence because he got knocked out like 3 games ago. Us pretending like that's not going to affect this Green Bay team, come on, dude. In defense, right? It's the playoffs, right? Playoffs in Chicago.
How about it?
Defense is going to win this game, right? And the best defense in the playoffs right now is Chicago's. All they do is take the ball away, and they are going to terrorize the Green Bay Packers. So I'm taking Chicago as a dog at home for my extra point.
How about it? And you know what? No, we have this graphic. Actually, now, can you move that circle? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I have the Bills.
You took the favorite.
I took the 1.5 point favorite. It's close.
Yeah.
This game is as close to a toss up as there is in the wild card round. I love this matchup. I think this matchup is filled with intrigue with Liam Cohen.
When is this game?
Hosting a playoff game for the Jaguars. Jacksonville.
When is this game? What day is this game?
This is Sunday at 1.
1 o'clock. So this is the middle of the day game.
Yeah. I have Josh. Look, Josh Allen, Mahomes is out. Lamar is out. Joe Burrow is out. This is your time.
Right.
Take it.
This is they got to get it. Right.
Yeah. That's really the gusto behind this pick is I want Josh Allen to get over these demons, man.
By the way, there was a game that I wanted to pick, but I couldn't. But I think it's going to be the best game of the weekend. It's going to be the 49ers Eagles. I think that's going to be a good game.
Yeah. I think Chargers Patriots is going to be fascinating too.
That one too. Yeah.
That one's great.
Right.
A lot of great, man. Honestly, Rondé, my
Playoff time,
favorite weekend. Wild card weekend is my favorite weekend of the year.
I love it.
I don't like the Bucs are not in it. I know. But
we'll just have to pretend like we're fans of other teams this for the next 4 weeks.
The Rondé Barber Show will be back with Ask Rondé right after this.
It's time for you to Ask Rondé, sponsored by Advent Health and Renewal by Andersen.
You know the drill. All you got to do is submit a video question to AskRondé.com, and you get your name inserted into that carousel to win some cool signed merch from the one and only Rondé Barber. We got Ann up on the show.
We got five blue stickers in here.
I would like to know what made you stay with the Bucs as long as you did and retired.
Great question.
Oh, okay, Ann. That was at the Thursday night football game with you there.
The answer is easy. First time I was a free agent, I didn't get any interest because I had not turned into the Rondé Barber that we all know. But then after that, I just had a lot invested in the emotional bank account. I couldn't see myself playing anywhere. The system that I helped form here, I played in all but 2 years of my career. Well, no, 1 year. No, 2 years of my career. Raheem's first year, we changed systems. Then we changed back. And then my last year with Shiana, we changed systems. So I was just comfortable here. And family's here. Tampa's great. It's the best city I'll ever live in because I won't live in any other city.
How about it? Love for Tampa, man.
All right.
Love it on the program.
All right. I'll go with the name first. It's Connor Wright. And Connor, I hope you have kids because you're getting a kid-signed football from Rondé Barber.
Woohoo! We will be in touch, provided you live in the Tampa Bay area, Connor, and for you to be able to claim your prize here at WFLA News Channel 8. Before we exit here on the program, an announcement I'm excited to share. We don't have the drum roll sound effect, but this is what you need to know because the Rondé Barber Show, everybody, is going to the big game. That's right.
Big game.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Going to Santa Clara.
The Bucs aren't going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
But Rondé Barber and I are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we will be doing the Rondé Barber Show from Radio Row in San Fran.
Yes.
Can't wait, obviously. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking to a whole lot of people there, and shout out to our sponsor, Advent Health. They are a big reason why, of course, the Rondé Barber Show is here and a big reason why we are Super Bowl bound. You excited, Rondé?
Absolutely. Thank you, Advent. Thank you, Advent.
We're going to be having a whole lot of fun. And yes, on all the platforms that you currently consume the Rondé Barber Show on right now, you'll be able to get our Super Bowl special edition episodes coming to a platform again near you. The Rondé Barber Show, episode 25 in the books, Rondé.
In the books, baby. It's been fun, dude. Start off the year hot. Let's
Shout
go.
out to producer Rhett Fail Jr. for an awesome regular season. A lot more episodes of the Rondé Barber Show on the way. And yes, we'll be there at the Super Bowl in just a few weeks, but more weekly episodes coming up beginning next week. For Rondé Barber, I'm JB Buno. We appreciate you as always joining us here on the Rondé Barber Show.
Thank you for watching the Rondé Barber Show on YouTube. To see how we produce digital shows like this one, check out the new Parker Street YouTube channel. Subscribe now.